What characterizes the White Point dining experience? To me, it's variety. We cater to a really diverse clientele here. People looking for a little bit of finer dining experience, people with families as well.
We have the biggest selection of Nova Scotia wines, and we're happy to promote that. I think it's very important for us to stand behind the Nova Scotia industry and show that there are great wines out there, and providing the perfect food and wine matches with our maritime-influenced cuisine works perfectly with that.
Salmon is certainly a big option. We go through about 15,000 pounds of salmon here at White Point every year. And on our dinner menu as well, we featured plank salmon done in a small version, as well as this summer we're featuring a house smoked variety where we marinate it and do it on a little portable smoker. So to prepare the rub for my salmon prior to going in the smoker, we start off with some brown sugar. We like that nice caramelization on there, and some coarse sea salt, which I like because it doesn't have all kinds of additives like other salts do. One of my favorite ingredients is some smoked paprika. I have a little dried thyme, a little Cajun seasoning mix, some dried garlic, and I like to finish it off with a little bit of freshly grated orange zest as well. One of the things to me that's the most important about this is creating that contrast between the saltiness and the sweetness as well. I've selected again some nice, good Atlantic salmon. And I've cut it into big, thick steaks. In this case, they're about an inch thick, right from the center of the whole fillet. About an hour prior to smoking, we want to apply the rub to our salmon so it has a chance to absorb a little bit. We're going to sprinkle this on very generously. And the moisture from the salmon is going to dissolve some of those sugars and that salt and create a nice, good flavor base. And then to finish it off in the marinade, a little good dark rum, just for a little extra flavor. One of the most important things to do prior to smoking is preparing your wood chips. You don't want the chips to burn too quickly. You can just allow those to soak for about an hour on your kitchen counter. You want them just to smolder and produce lots of smoke. You don't actually want fire in this particular case.
The Blumman Estate Chardonnay, again, it's one of my favorite white wines in Nova Scotia. I like this one a little bit more with our smoked salmon that Alan has on the menu, just because it has a little bit more oak quality and a little bit more weight, as well as acidity, so it carries through with the smokiness of the dish, and it works very well, especially with the lime and pineapple chutney that he has with the dish.
So I've got a lovely big plank of cedar over here. It's certainly been well utilized and seen many a fish. Simply going to transfer my salmon over onto my cedar wood. One of my favorite seasoning mixes we like to use on the salmon here at White Point. We like to treat it like it's a big steak. So give it a generous sprinkle with the Montreal steak spice. And then I like to finish it off with a little fresh Nova Scotia maple syrup as well to give it a little bit of sweetness. And you can drizzle it prior to cooking, and then when it comes off the barbecue, you can finish it off with a little more maple syrup before you go to the table. So once our plank salmon goes on the barbecue, how long is it going to take to cook is the question people ask. And it depends on several things. First of all, the thickness of your plank. If you're using really heavy wood, it's obviously going to take a little bit longer. If you're using a thinner shingle piece, it's going to go much more quickly. And we want it on a low temperature because we don't want our wood to catch on fire. I'm a big fan of not overcooking salmon. You want to cook your salmon until the center is just slightly opaque. In fact, a little bit translucent is good too. And you can do that by touching the surface of it. Give it a little push, and if it shows a little bit of, if it starts to firm up, it's a little bit overcooked at that point. You want it to have a little bit of spring left. And if you really want to be sure, we like to do what's called the nick and peek method, where you can cut a little piece into the center of the fattest part and take a look inside and see what it looks like at that point.
The Reserve Lac Blanc is a perfect pairing for our cedar plank salmon due to the oak aging that the wine has seen. It's very aromatic with ripe pineapple and lemon flavors showing, so it has enough weight to carry the flavors of the salmon and not get lost in the salmon flavors.
What I bring to the table in terms of my personal touch on everything is I like to source out as much local product as we possibly can in season, and certainly summertime is a great time to take advantage of that. One of the truly great pleasures I have here at White Point Beach is to be able to participate in my Chef's Magic programs, where I get to interact with our guests and share a little bit of my enthusiasm and passion for what I do in our bi-weekly cooking classes that we do throughout the summer and over the course of the winter as well. You can check our website out for our blog and our upcoming events to see when you'll be able to catch me at another program.